Hey, Tank Tops and Sweaters friends, it's Kelly and Yvette here. It is the end of November and we have had a great month. We thought we'd hop on and just kind of go over the questions that we posted on Instagram and Facebook, getting like reintroducing ourselves. So while we spent time together at the beach in Florida, we got to know each other better and we were hoping to help you get to know us better. So we're going to kind of expand on those three questions a little bit.
I love it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah. So the first one we asked was, what are you most passionate about right now? And we both kind of had the same answer.
Yeah, we really did. I mean, this goes back to just what Tank Tops and Sweaters is all about, really. And that both of our passion is really centered around the same thing, really mirroring and merging fitness and movement and mental health together. And really just sharing that advocacy and empowerment for each other with everyone else, and really wanting to share all of that and open up the conversation. I think both of us said we wanted to end the stigma around opening up that conversation about mental health, that it should be just something that we are doing just as much as we, take care of our physical health and all the exercise and movement that we're promoting, but really that plays back to your mental health and how that's taking care of your whole being and not just your physical body.
I totally agree. And I also think that part of ending the stigma and opening the conversation, it's really just that, opening the conversation. It's how many times, I can't even tell you how many times I start talking about mental health or something about mental health or anxiety, and people are like, the sense of relief that they don't have to hide behind a mask, that they can be open about their own mental health or their own anxiety, their own depression, the things that they've been through. Creating that area where we are a safe place and hopefully making that safe space bigger and bigger and bigger as we go, so that people do feel safe talking about it. And that's the way I think that we're trying to end the stigma, is opening the conversation, creating the safe space, creating more safe spaces, helping people move through whatever their mental health state is at the moment, how movement can help us through our mental health. But I think the biggest thing is just opening that conversation and creating a safe space.
Definitely, definitely. And understanding, like, there's no judgment. There's no underlying judgment from others. In that you should just allow yourself to open up maybe just a little bit more, because you never know if that's going to really help the other person that you're opening up to, or if that's really helping yourself as well, because you're just allowing yourself, you're allowing yourself to open up and to just let it out. Sometimes that's what we need to do, is just have that conversation and allow ourselves to let those feelings and emotions and everything that's built up come out sometimes.
Yeah. And I know we've talked about this before, but I've battled with anxiety my entire life, and it runs in my family. My kids have it. I have it. My mom had, it's just a family thing. But it was never talked about as anxiety when I was growing up. There wasn't a name for it. It was always, you're the worry wart, stop worrying, get your crybaby, And so I think giving each other words and vocabulary that is not condescending or negative, to know that these are real things and they are real feelings, and most people have them, and we have different ways of dealing with them, and we can help each other. But I think that's part of it too, and that's why I'm so passionate about it, and so are you. I know you have things in your own life that have made you more passionate about mental health, but I think that's what drives us to end the stigma, is to help people not feel isolated, to feel comfortable talking about it, and realizing that we all struggle with it in some way, but let's end the negativeness and let's help each other.
Definitely, definitely empower one another.
Yes,
Definitely.
for sure.
And I love that, because
So
I think when we open up to each other. It just, like you said, creating that safe place, safe
Mhm.
space. I feel like when you do open up, you are creating that safe space for others and for yourself as well. So
Mhm.
I think it's a super important thing to do for sure.
Yeah. Kind of changing the narrative around mental health.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Not such a
Mm.
taboo or negative, but more of a, this
Right.
is just part of our health, our overall health.
Right.
And it's something that we should,
Exactly. And let's talk about it and help each other.
yeah, let's talk about it and help each other. Exactly. Exactly.
Love it. Love it.
So that's what we are both really passionate about. Unless you want to add anything else, my dear.
I mean, I think that pretty much says it. Everybody can go look at the rest of our stuff too, but I think that is what is driving us the most is our passion surrounding mental health.
Definitely. Definitely. And then our other question was, what was our favorite move or favorite movement?
Ah, yes. Mine and it still kind of is right now, is very expansive movements. It's definitely more of opening up and feeling I think less closed in. I think
Mhm.
especially like as winter comes, we kind of like hibernate and that comes emotionally too.
Yes.
Um, I think, and it's not so much in Florida because it doesn't get as cold. It is a little chilly today. I got a hat, team, a sweater, but I think for me, it's been expansive to open up and not hide who I am too. So I
Mm,
think it's kind of like not just the hibernating, but to be kind of like, here I am and I'm okay with who I am and learning to love myself and be open instead of hiding so much. I think that and opening my heart to new opportunities is kind of the path that is guiding me right now. And that's where the expansiveness of that's what my body seems to be craving is the
it's just
expansive movement.
opening up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
that. I know you're such an inspiration for me and my movements as well. And I love it
Aw.
'cause you are helping me to like sort of slow down, especially and kind of reconnect with
Mm-hmm.
the movements. So I love it because I think my clients will notice I am trying to do that more in my classes and just for us at the end to sort of take a break, to like calm our bodies down and to really connect with our breath, connect with the movement that we're doing. And I'm just doing very nice, slow, connecting movements. So bringing those arms up overhead, a bit of more stretching. Let's really deepen that stretch, or really feel
Mm-hmm.
that muscle
Connect with it.
stretching.
Yeah. I love
And
that.
just connecting with that a bit more, which
Yeah.
like you said, when your body sort of craves that, it will let
Yes.
you know. Like when you listen, you
We
will.
just have to learn to listen.
Right, exactly. And that's the thing. Like you have to listen to it first of all, but when you do listen to it and you actually allow yourself to do those movements that your body is craving, it's just like this feeling, a release. It's
Mhm.
like a release and a
Yes.
feeling and just okay, now I can go on. I'm like mentally and physically ready to go on, to
Right.
move on.
Yes. And I love that because I think you've inspired me in your movement to sometimes push a little harder or go a little deeper. And sometimes I'm thinking, my butt is going to hurt so bad, but I can't stop. And so I think it's great that we complement each other. We don't do the same things. We don't, I mean,
No,
some of the
no.
movements are similar, but we have very different like approaches to it. And I
Yeah,
love that you push me to maybe hold it for like 5 more seconds than I would have before, or go a half an inch deeper in my squat than I
yep,
would have before.
yep, yep. And I think that's also the thing. It's going back to listening to your body. And I say this a lot in my classes is this is your challenge. This is your movement. This is your body. You need to listen to it. Meet yourself where you're
Right.
at today. However, I will also say if you feel like you can take this a little bit further, just push yourself a tiny bit more. Like, can we do 5 more? Can we, do
Can
2
you go a
more?
little
Like,
deeper?
go a little deeper and
Yeah,
challenge
exactly.
yourself just a little bit more, because that's where you can meet yourself. That's where you can grow. That's when you start to push just a tiny bit more, is when you start to grow and get
You find out
stronger.
how strong you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the
You
thing.
kind of you kind of find your own strength.
Right. Because sometimes, I mean, this goes back to when I was dancing. And I just remember, sometimes the choreographer, the teacher would do these jumps or these leaps or these moves, and you're looking at them like, there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to do that. Are you kidding me? Like, that's just not physically possible. And the
My
next,
body can't do that.
right, my body can't do that. And that's in your head, because that's the change, the resistance that you're meeting,
Right.
right, mentally. But
Mhm.
5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, 15 minutes later, however
You're doing
long,
it.
we're doing it. You
Yeah.
are leaping up in the air. You are doing those moves. And it's kind of like, oh, I
I
can't do
can.
this.
Yes,
And
exactly. And you
I
find
can,
the strength that you didn't even realize you had.
right, right. And you
Yeah,
find the
mental
strength,
and physical.
right, mental and physical. But I think, that first, it's that roadblock. And I feel like there's a lot of people out there that have that mental roadblock of like,
Mhm.
they'll see something online or they'll see a movement and they'll just be like, oh, I can't do that. No, my body can't do that.
Yeah,
And it's no, your body actually probably can do that. You just have to allow yourself to try, because you never
right.
know until you
And I
try.
think it's the step, I think it's breaking it down too. I think it's taking it like I know in some of my Pilates classes, if I show them a movement or tell them to do a movement and they look at me like I'm crazy, I'm like, oh, we break it down into little
Mhm,
sections. Okay, we're gonna start here. Now
mhm.
we're gonna come to here. You're gonna add this, and then you're gonna add this, and all of a sudden they're doing it
Right.
because it's not like you said, it's the resistance in your brain looking at somebody going, I can't do that, when
Mhm.
really you can. You just have to break it down, just like you do with your kids and their homework, or learning something new. We just break it down into pieces, and I think that goes back to connecting your mind and your body and your mental health and your movement, and the same thing we've been talking about with mental health, that is another way to strengthen your mental health through movement, because you realize your strength and you realize you can do more than you can, and your power that you already have within you, you're just not tapping into it.
Exactly. And I think that once, you do those movements, and once you realize that you are doing it,
Mm-hmm.
it's such a confidence booster. It's such a mental health booster, because then you're like,
Yes.
oh, I allowed myself to try this and I'm
And I
doing
did
it.
it. Yes.
Like, what else can I do?
Yes, and then you can go on to something bigger or better, or something that makes you even stronger.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
love that.
yeah.
So our third question was a little bit difficult.
I brought the Kleenex out.
She's ready. She's ready. We're struggling with different things and both the same at the same time too, I think.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
we definitely are. I feel like, both of us have kids the same age, going through, the same kind of experiences. So, but luckily Kelly's been through this before. So she's a she's a guiding factor for me.
so our question was, what are you struggling with most right now? And Yvette's was very emotional, and I totally 100% get it, because she is launching a kid for the first time,
Yep.
and it's not easy.
And my one and only. My
You're
one
one
and
and only, and
only.
I
Yeah.
am launching number three.
Yes. And Kelly is guiding me through this whole process.
We're guiding each other, but
Yes,
yes.
yes, definitely. Because, oh my gosh. So yeah, the struggle is so real as a parent of an only, just all the feels, really feeling those bittersweet feelings. I mean, when you say it's bittersweet, I wouldn't say it's like necessarily bitter, It's definitely sweet, but it's those
Difficult.
aching moments where you're just realizing that, your child is about to leave the nest, is about to take off, is about to fly,
Mhm.
is about to, you know, grow into their own independent adult, which is what they're supposed to be doing, is what we have been, helping
Preparing
them,
them for.
nurturing them, and,
Mhm.
helping them grow and nurture and everything. But man, is it hard.
It is hard.
It is so hard. You don't want to let go. You just have these aching moments of like, oh my gosh, this is the last, fall festival that this person, this child will be here with me. Um, this is the last of this is the last of that. And you're just like knowing that so much change is coming ahead and being so excited for it, but yet aching for those moments of when they were
Moment back.
young or when they were little. And
It
it's
does make you savor everything, I feel like a little bit more.
oh, completely,
Um,
completely. Yeah.
you savor the moments. And I think even more so with my third one,
Hmm.
because I have one that is completely grown and flown. I have one in grad school, and then my
Yeah.
youngest is a senior. And so we're in very different stages with all three of them.
Yeah,
And
you
it's still a little bit like launching, even when they're in grad school or on their own.
oh
It's
yeah.
like a new phase in each one of their lives is happening. And it's hard to, now I'm going to cry, find where your place is in their life at that point.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I think that's one of the biggest changes, right? Is like you
Yes.
have been there for every step of the way.
I know, where's the tissue?
Oh, here we go. And now you have to find a different place and
Yeah.
support them in different ways. And it's not that you don't stop caring, or you don't stop worrying, or you don't stop,
Oh, for
like,
sure.
yeah, you just like that keep going, but you have to find, like you said, a different place and a different
Yeah.
space for you.
And your role is changing. Your role as
Yeah.
mom
Yeah.
changes drastically. You're
Yeah.
not the everyday um come home and vent or tell me what happened or share the joys. It's
Yeah.
um it becomes different when it's over the phone.
Oh,
Um
yeah.
or when it becomes less daily, not daily,
Yes. Oh my gosh. I know.
less frequent.
That's gonna be
It's
hard.
not, I mean, it's definitely a struggle.
Yeah.
It is definitely a struggle. I think it's a little easier for me because I've done this twice and I'm doing it again. But then there is the reality that we're about to be empty nesters.
Yes. Yeah. And I think that's the other thing is like there's going to be such a big change because then, the dynamic of your household is changing as well. And
Mhm.
you're not having to think of what are we going to do as a family? It's now,
Right.
what are we going to do as a
The
couple?
two of us as a couple. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's been a long time since we've
Right.
just
Yeah.
thought about the two of us as a couple. And so
Uh-huh.
it definitely changes your role, your priorities, your I think the worries change. They're different than the worries you have when they're in your house. Um, there's just a lot. There's a meme that goes around, not a meme, but like a thing on Instagram or Facebook, and it's like nobody sleeps better than a mom when all her kids are home on Christmas break.
Yes. My gosh,
And
that's
I
so,
was like,
yes.
totally relate to that. Like
Oh
just
yeah.
that calm of having
Yeah.
everybody back in your house, which I will not have this year, and I'm like so upset about it. But
Oh,
um, just that couple nights of having everybody, your whole all of your kids in the same house.
yes.
Um, sweet feeling, and you miss it when
Oh,
it's not there. Um, but I definitely relate to that one. My
yeah.
struggle right now is a little different though.
Yes. Yours is a little different, but I loved it as well.
Yeah, my struggle is I am really struggling with boundaries around my time. because
Mm-hmm.
I am a people pleaser. And so I tend to say, yes, I can do that. Yes, I can do that. And then I go, how the hell am I going to do that?
Yep.
So I am definitely learning to say, no, that doesn't work for me. Or can we do it at a different time? And starting to really put boundaries and value around my time and my time with my family. Because in part, I am about to launch my last kid. And I don't
Mm-hmm.
want her senior year to be my mom did everything for everybody else and wasn't there when I needed her to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of goes hand in hand. But I think that is one of the biggest struggles I'm dealing with right now.
Plus, putting boundaries around yourself is also a part of your own self-care. I mean, it's your
Mm-hmm.
own self-care in a mental health way, but also in a
Right.
physical way, because
Mm-hmm.
you could only do so much throughout the
Right.
day.
There's
And
only so many hours in a day. We can't add more.
how many hours of the day? And let me tell you, sometimes I'm like, oh boy, I know Kelly has a full day today. Just what can I do to maybe take some things off her plate or help her out? Because it's just like
So sweet.
you have so much going on. And even though, two of your kids are not necessarily in the household with you, you're taking care of everybody. You're taking care of everybody. And I love that. But also, I love that you are learning how to set those boundaries and how to say, like, okay, I need this time for me. I need to recharge. I need
Yeah.
to take a moment for myself. So
Mm-hmm.
no, I can't, teach this class or do this right now because I need to
Right.
recharge
Yeah.
and I
And
need to.
and even just taking a when I take a vacation to say I'm actually taking a vacation. I'm not working
Yeah.
on my
Yep.
vacation and things like that. That's another.
People, if you could have seen two moms in Florida on we needed more time. Let me just tell you.
We needed it, but we had so much fun.
We had so much fun. But yeah, we could have taken more time for sure because we had just
Yes.
were like having a ball and it was
Yes.
so recharging, so refreshing. And those are the moments that you have to just take in
Mhm.
for yourself. Um, and allow yourself to enjoy and not worry about what's happening at home or is everybody
Mhm.
okay? It's just
Yeah.
letting yourself be. So it's really good.
And I think that definitely the salt water and the salt air is very healing, at least to
Yes.
me.
Yes.
So just being there and being able to just kind of like connect and ground, like grounding in the sand,
Yep.
it was huge for my nervous system. And so I
Oh
think
yeah.
just that feeling the water, like I learned that Yvette had never really been in the Gulf of Mexico.
I have not. And it was
So we got to swim in the ocean. It was a little cold for me.
warm for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking layers off. Kelly's putting layers on. I loved
It
it.
was
I loved
fantastic.
it.
Yes, it was
But yeah, it
fantastic.
was so amazing and something that we both really needed. So we love our little
Yes,
retreats together for sure.
yes.
So this leads to a kind of a fun question. So those were the questions we posted on Instagram if you followed us. And you could still see them on Instagram. They're on Reels. Kind of fun. We have beautiful ocean backgrounds. So it's very lovely. Um, but what I wanted to get into, which I think is kind of fun to get us to know each other a little bit more, is kind of something fun that we learned on our retreat and trip about each other. Just fun little tidbits that we can share. So Kelly is the fastest, and I mean fastest person to get ready in the morning. Like this girl takes showers like you can't believe. Like in 2 seconds, she was out. I was like, whoa, okay. And she was ready to go.
Comes from having 3 kids.
Right. So this girl's like, this is super mama over here getting ready with the kids. And so it was awesome. I was like, okay, I gotta get my butt up and I need to move because she is ready. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So that was so cool. Such an inspiration to
You are
like
so cool.
to move it.
I totally enjoy the fact, and it kind of goes back to like, you know how when you see a kid experience something and you get so excited and you kind of experience it again. So to see Yvette with the shells on the beach was like, it was like a kid experiencing it again, like amazement. And just, we were just searching through shells and look at this one, look at this one. It's so cool. And just finding the beauty in every little shell that was on the beach. And if you've ever been to Florida Gulf of Mexico beach, there are shells everywhere. Like,
So
yeah.
I've never seen that before. Like piles of shells just laid out along the beach. And that was so amazing to me because here on the Pacific coast, that doesn't happen. Like you don't get piles of shells. You may see bits and pieces of shells here and there scattered around. We do get sand dollars on one beach called Seaside. You can find whole sand dollars, but they're usually live, so you have to leave them alone. And we have very large jellyfish, which I never knew that jellyfish were not usually that size. I'm used to like the really big jellyfish.
They come in different sizes.
Yeah, I realized they're like teeny tiny ones too. But yeah, it was amazing. And just the fact that we got to see dolphins almost every day, just about. They were just hanging out, just playing, doing their thing. That was really cool.
And the first morning we were there, they just jumped up for Yvette as we were walking on the beach and they were just playing. It was fantastic. Like it was just for her. They're like, she's here.
Go to Instagram. I did catch one in one of our reels. So it is so fun to see. But yeah, I mean, it was just, you're right. I was almost like a child experiencing things for the first time.
And we also learned, I'll tell you something else we also learned. We learned we shop really well together, which is probably a good and a bad thing.
Well, our husbands, I'm sure, probably did. That was a good thing,
but we thought it was a fantastic thing.
It's a fantastic thing.
Yes.
We both know what we want and like, so that was awesome. And it was so much fun. So much fun.
It was fun.
Yeah, definitely.
We're looking forward to many more trips like that.
Yes. So definitely many more to come as we continue this journey together. But we will wrap it up from here. Thank you for joining us and letting us share with you just a little bit more about us and what Tank Tops and Sweaters is really about. We hope you will go ahead and subscribe. So hit that subscribe button because we have lots more coming up next month, and the upcoming new year has so much to bring. We cannot wait. We have so many new things on the horizon. You are not going to want to miss this. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and do so. Share with friends and family. And also please subscribe to our newsletter. So if you go to tanktopsandsweaters.com, you will find a link to go ahead and sign up for that newsletter. We have so many new exciting things again coming up. So that newsletter is really going to help you understand what's coming next and how you can get involved. So join us again. And thank you so much for letting us share. We hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and we can't wait to see you next time. Also, if you have any questions for us, please let us know. You can message us on Instagram. You can message us here. Just let us
on the website.
Yep, or on the website, tanktopsandsweaters.com. We'll see you next time. Take care.
Bye, guys.